In a world that just never seems to stop, how do you find the off switch? Today, we're going to dive into Vedic Space. It's a digital initiative that's using some seriously ancient wisdom to tackle the very modern problem of mental noise. Let's see how they do it. So, before we get into what Vedic Space is, let's talk about the why. Just take a second and really think about this question. With all the pings, the notifications, the constant chatter, where do you actually go to find true silence? It's a lot harder than it sounds, isn't it? And that right there, that gets us to the core problem Vedic Space is trying to solve: the overwhelming noise of modern life. It's a dilemma that's pretty unique to our time. Does this look familiar? I bet it does. This is modern life in a nutshell, right? The endless notifications popping up, the mental clutter from having like a dozen tabs open in our brains at all times. And that weird feeling of being connected to everything, but somehow completely disconnected from ourselves. It's this constant rush that, for way too many of us, just leads straight to stress and burnout. So, what's the alternative? Well, instead of just adding more noise to the pile, Vedic Space offers something totally different. It's an invitation to just pause. It's a sanctuary built specifically for stillness. This quote, this really gets to the heart of their whole philosophy. And notice that distinction they make. It's not a platform for performance where you feel like you have to be good at meditating. No, they call it a temple for presence. It's all about creating a space where you can just be. And here's how they pull it off. They take this ancient wisdom from what's known as Sanatana Dharma. You can think of it as the timeless, eternal way of life. That's the foundation for a lot of Eastern philosophies. And they translate it for our world today. The whole point is to make these really profound techniques accessible, practical, and actually relevant to the life you're living right now. It's like bridging the gap between an ancient scroll and your smartphone. Okay, so how do they do that, practically speaking? Well, let's look at the heart of their practice. It's all built around something called the Vishnu Sahasranama, which is this incredible sacred text with 1,000 names of the divine. And they help you turn it into a dedicated practice, what's known as a sadhana. And to really get what they're doing, you have to understand this word, sadhana. This isn't just, a one-off meditation session or some kind of quick fix. A sadhana is a dedicated, disciplined spiritual practice. It's really a commitment you make to a journey inward. And you can see here how they structure this whole journey. It's built on 3 main pillars. First up is chanting. You learn the ancient sounds, getting the Sanskrit pronunciation just right. Then you move into the study of meanings, where you start to explore the incredible depth behind each of those 1,000 names. And finally, it all comes together in an experiential practice, where you weave the chanting together with breathwork, hand positions, and meditation. Okay, so that's the practice. But what's the payoff? What are the real, tangible benefits you might actually feel in your day-to-day life from doing this? Well, the first one, and this is probably the one most of us are looking for, is shanti. That means inner peace. And we're not just talking about feeling a little less stressed. It's described as a state of having a deeply relaxed body and, this is the key, a quiet mind. Next up, there's viveka, which is all about mental clarity and focus. So this isn't just about feeling calm, it's about sharpening your perception. It's about finding it easier to see the right solutions to problems, to cut through all that mental clutter we were talking about earlier. And this one? Wow, this is a game changer in our modern world. Sahana Shakti, or resilience to stress. It's described as the ability to not just cope with challenges, but to actually absorb them and turn that pressure into real growth. It's a kind of inner strength that people have been cultivating for thousands of years. And just think about that for a second. This isn't some new wellness trend that popped up last year. We're talking about a living tradition with a history that stretches back over 7,500 years. That makes it one of the oldest continuous spiritual practices on the entire planet. But, the mission of Vedic Space actually goes way beyond just individual practice. It's also about preserving these sacred traditions for the future and while widening the circle so more people can connect with them. And they're doing this in a couple of really amazing ways. On one hand, they support the sacred arts, helping preserve these incredible living traditions, like the Veshagaru. These are folk performers who literally embody entire epic poems through their voice and memory. And on the other hand, they're looking to the future with the Bal Sanskar initiative. This brings kids and teens into the fold with chanting, stories, and meditation, making sure this timeless wisdom gets passed on. So let's kind of bring it all home. What is it about this approach, this digital sanctuary, that makes it so important in our crazy, busy world? I think this chart just sums it up perfectly. Their whole ethos is built on these four pillars. It's all rooted in authentic wisdom, not just some modern fad. It's non commercial, it's donation based, so it's open and accessible to absolutely everyone. It's dedicated to sincere practice, which means they care way more about depth than about scale. And finally, it's about creating a truly sacred space, a place online where you can just breathe, chant, and reconnect with yourself. And so we're going to end with an invitation that's also a question. It's not really a call to action to do something, but more of a prompt, a chance to reflect on what a practice like this could mean for you. Breathe, chant, what will you awaken within?